talk to the new pagans, Wiccans, witches, whatever you are going to call yourself. I am talking to you. If you are new to the craft, new to your path, this video is directed towards you. So what I want to talk about is the importance of research and studying. When I first started out, I had a couple books here and there, but I didn't really do a whole lot of reading and research, and I find myself now doing even more of that than my actual practice, which is not a bad thing. The more knowledge you get, the better. But especially when you are starting off brand new, you're going to want to find books, read books, get your hands on them. If you are in high school or middle school and you don't have parents that support it, I am not one to tell somebody to go behind their parents' back, but I understand it because I'm in the same situation even still, and I've been practicing for 3 years now, 4 years, something like that. So I know what that feels like. I mean, I was hiding books under my bed, stuffed in pillowcases for years, and I could only take them out at night, late at night, after my parents had fallen asleep. And while my sister knew about it, I made a point of telling her because we shared a room together and she was going to find out sooner or later. She was actually very supportive of me, so I could get my books out without having to worry and, you know, do my reading and research and put things into my book of shadows and all that good stuff. But if you don't have that liberty of even having them in your house, I would go to a library, go to Borders, go to Books A Million or Barnes and Nobles, and sit down at one of their tables and start copying things down. Get a notebook cheaply at the dollar store and just start writing things down. Write down what catches your eye, write down what interests you about what you're reading, because that is really going to be the foundation of the beginnings of your practice. Now, the whole importance between reading and researching is knowing what the heck you're doing. Because there are certain things that you could do that could trigger negativity and bad things to happen. I have never had that happen, thank goodness. But I do feel like I took some chances, and I didn't really have anybody to kind of guide me in the right way. Get your hands on as many books as you possibly can and read. I can't stress it enough. And really take your year and a day seriously, okay? Really do that year and a day, okay? There are a lot of year and a day programs that are out there on the internet that you can do. You might have to pay for it, but it's worth it. There's all kinds of things on YouTube that you can do, different activities you can do throughout your year and a day. So I want to show you guys some books, and I don't really have many with me currently. When I moved, I packed up my books, my witchy books, and I gave them to a friend of mine to watch over for a while, to store until I can get them back, which I think I'm going to do that here this week. But I did keep a few books that I have really enjoyed, that I keep going back to just for reference and different things. So let me share them with you. The first one is called The Crystal Experience. And while I have not finished this just yet, this is absolutely amazing. If you really resonate with stones and crystals, if you really have a deep connection with them, you're going to want to invest in this. It just teaches you all about stones and crystals and what they mean, how they correspond to the different chakras. This book is amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and it is worth every penny. So if you can get your hands on this, I highly recommend that you do. So next is The Real Witch's Book of Spells and Rituals by Kate West, and it looks like this. This is a very fun book. I like a lot of the rituals that are in here because they're simple. I can incorporate my own personal touches into these rituals. I am still kind of working on picking out a couple to put into my Book of Shadows, but this is a wonderful book, especially if you're a beginner. Okay, so the next two books are by the same author, Janina Renee, and this first one is called By Candlelight. These are all spells that you can do with candles, just candles, okay? A candle for attracting love, a candle for grief, a prayer for times of crisis. There's just all different kinds of stuff in here. And that was the grieving chapter, by the way. A Thanksgiving prayer, Memorial Day remembrance, rites for special days of the year. And it's just all about using candles. And that's all you would need is a few candles here and there. And this will teach you how to use them in your magical practice, okay? So it's a very, very wonderful book. Because that is typically what my practice is. Stones and crystals, candles, and what you're going to see next, which is tarot spells. Again, this is Janina Renee. Wonderful, wonderful book. And it's all about how to use your tarot cards in different kinds of spells. Spells for decisions, or to encourage the conception of a baby boy. This is cool. You would use the Emperor, the Sun, and the Ace of Wands. And it gives you a meditation and visualization to do, an affirmation to say. This book is just absolutely wonderful. So if you're into tarot and oracle cards, this is what you're going to want to get. Now, last but not least, this is more directed towards a very specific tradition or path in paganism. First of all, think of pagan or paganism as the big umbrella, and then underneath it you have things like Wicca, witchcraft, druidism, shamanism, Gardnerian, Dianic. I mean, there are just so many different paths to choose from, and I think that's kind of why I decided to become eclectic at first, because it was just so overwhelming that I thought if I can just pick and choose from different traditions and different paths, then I would be happy. But I don't recommend doing that because it gets overwhelming in that sense, and I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner. But anyway, this particular book, corresponds to Egyptian paganism, and it's actually called Egyptian Paganism by Jocelyn Almond and Keith Seddon. This was lent to me by a friend of mine who loves Egyptian paganism. She's very, very into it, and I am currently still reading this, but I'm almost finished. And I am currently taking a few of the rituals and different things that are in here and incorporating them into an Egyptian Book of Shadows, a complete separate Book of Shadows, because I have decided to just follow Egyptian paganism for a little while to see how that kind of works for me, because I've never, like I said, I've never followed just one tradition before, so we're going to try it and see how it works for me. But if you're into ancient Egypt and you're curious about their practices and how to incorporate it into a pagan tradition, you're going to want to check this out. Again, wonderful, wonderful book. So I guess basically the whole point to this video is to just not underestimate the power of knowledge, okay? Because it's going to be very, very useful when it comes down to practicing. It's really going to give you an understanding of what you're doing, and it'll guide you in the right direction as far as what kind of path or tradition is best for you. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff that's coming up, so I hope you guys will enjoy it. I hope you liked this video, and I'll be talking to you soon. Blessed be.